Wow. I love how much tea we've spilled in this video.
I have so much tea all the time. Beth used to tell me that she wished that I had a brain tumor and died.
The woman, man, non-binary follower that you have is going to wonder why that...
Like, you're a genuine person, and I like to spend time with genuine people. What is one thing that you have learned that you feel like has truly been a life lesson for you?
Those are the kind of things that I think go a long way in building a connection. Welcome to today's video. Oh my god, I'm so excited that I have this very special guest with me over here. Hi, Cassandra.
Hi.
And welcome to my channel.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here. I've been watching you for probably the past 5 years.
Oh my god.
And getting to see all of my internet friends in person, to learn all the ins and outs of makeup, to speak content creation in America versus India. I'm so honored and excited to be here.
I'm super excited because I felt like the people that I was meeting through this entire US trip were people that I truly connected with through like being internet friends, and now I feel like IRL friends. And we just filmed a video for Cassandra. Make sure you go ahead and watch that on her channel. I had such a good time because I feel like she's someone who I personally love watching skincare content of. Tell me a little bit about you. Let's start off with that while we're doing our makeup. How does one go from being from the esthetician business to being a creator? And let's do that while we wear our makeup.
Let's do it.
We glam as well.
So when I started, it was completely on accident. Before I was ever on YouTube, I struggled with severe cystic acne. It covered 90% of my face, chest, and back. And waking up every morning, hating what I looked like in the mirror because of my skin, I was just upset and depressed every day. And I would have panic attacks because of fearing, how other people were perceiving me. And I couldn't even walk upstairs and have food with my family without having a full face of makeup on. Because I felt like I was so ugly that I was ruining their joy because of how ugly I was, right?
Oh my God.
Like, that's how I felt. So that's what got me into makeup. And I started to learn about what products to use and how to use them appropriately. And then I found out, you could be an esthetician and you could do makeup for yourself and others. So I first went to aesthetic school in 2008, 2009. It was really difficult, and the education then is definitely not what it was today. But I found ways to do my makeup so well and to understand how to layer products that I could cover up my skin. And I started to become a model, which was crazy because I would look at myself in the mirror and I hated who I was. But I looked at this model in pictures who was photoshopped and had lighting, and I was like, she's so pretty. That's me, but it's not me. So I did that for a few years, and I just hated feeling like I was someone else in the mirror versus in real life. And I said, I'm just gonna strip this off. Back in 2010, nobody knew what YouTube or the internet was. So I didn't think anyone would see it. Well, people saw it. And for the past 13 years, that's what I've been doing, which now brings me here. I create content to help other people with their skin, to educate, entertain, and empower, and speak about what beauty really means to us while helping people find cruelty-free products that work for them.
Well, there you go. You can see why I connected with her via the internet, via a screen. First of all, I'm so sorry that teenage you thought that. I feel like nobody should ever have to go through feeling less of themselves because they have certain flaws. And I promise you, this social construct of flaws really gets me riling because I'm like, no, you are more than what you look like. You bring so much more to the table. And I'm so glad that you did have that realization when you did, right? So you've been on YouTube for 13 years now. Wow, that is a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time. I didn't think about it like that. Yeah, it's a really long time.
Yeah, it is. I've been doing content for 12 years, but I've been doing YouTube consistently for maybe about 6-ish.
I think that's when I found you.
Yeah, and I feel like one of the learnings that I've had just on this trip, even in the US, is that the industry in the West works really, really differently from the industry back home. And I think that both sides have their pros and cons. So off the bat, what's your least favorite thing about doing business here in the US as a full-time content creator?
Great question. Let me get a concealer. My least favorite. Let's see. Also, this is so embarrassing. She was like, do you have a makeup mirror? I don't. And like my stuff is like in a Ziploc bag.
Well, she just moved houses. That's the context. It's fine. It's totally understandable.
It's kind of all over the place.
We're going to use the phones as mirrors.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's fine.
Perfect. Or you know what? Yeah, here I have a bronzer. Let me just, or you know what? Here I have this is what palettes are for.
Yeah, use this. Lots of mirrors here.
Let's just do that. Is that okay?
Of course, please go for it.
I'm just gonna open up your stuff.
Please do.
Thank you.
Feel free to use it as well.
Oh, such a good mirror too. Oh, that's great.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. My least favorite thing about being a content creator and the business side of it, I feel like when I was just creating content on my own before it was really a business, when, you know, my primary stuff was aesthetics or modeling, I was able to be 100% creative and do whatever I want. I am very brutally honest about what I do and don't like. And about, you know, if someone that I love is doing something that I don't approve of, I'll talk about that from my perspective. But I feel like since becoming a business in that, there's this constant pressure. What are people going to think? You know, is this person that I'm talking about, this person's routine that I'm reacting to, or this brand that I'm saying is trash, you know, is that going to impact me negatively? And I don't care, I'll do it anyways, but I think it's that constant worry that I still feel, or that, you know, feeling of I'm judging a product or an application. I'm not judging the person, but sometimes it comes off that way. And as a business, you know, I have employees. I need to pay people who help me. I need to make sure that we're achieving our mission and our vision. And knowing that sometimes sponsorships or that financial aspect is what is allowing the channel to exist, I do worry, like, oh, if I trash this product, am I ruining all my chances? But I'd rather be honest and do that than not. But I think it's just that constant worry.
I think I'm very much on the same plane with you as that. And we've talked about this even before this video got filmed, or even actually before we met, where we're happy to get kicked off PR lists if it means that a brand cannot take what we have to say. Like, I'm a brand owner myself, and I will still say that there's a lesser chance of somebody liking all of my products the same amount. And if you like one more and another less, it becomes my responsibility to be able to take that, manage that, take the feedback in constructive criticism, and potentially make it better. I'm going to give you an example.
Yes, please.
We had our airbrush powder when we first launched.
Oh yeah, the Paris one?
Yeah, and it sold out multiple times. But what we did get as feedback from customers was that because the product was talc-free, it was breaking very easily for them. So we stayed sold out for about 6 to 7 months. I was reformulating it as much as possible to the best of our ability. We failed. We really, really failed because it was not passing the break tests at all. And I said, you know what? If I'm going to give them a product that performs, I'm going to have to bite the bullet, and it's going to be with talc, as much as I would have otherwise liked for it to be talc-free.
Yeah.
And people still love it. It still gets sold out, but we're very clear about the fact that we've reformulated it. It still gives you the same performance. And I think that if I took it any other way, it could have gone in a whole other direction. Yeah, I think my also least favorite thing is a little bit similar to yours, in a sense where I worry that something I say is going to come back and affect my business. And I'm someone that doesn't want to pay as much attention to the numbers of Instagram growth and YouTube growth. I'm like, when it happens, it happens.
Exactly.
I believe in the sustainability, you know, way of doing things. I don't want to go viral overnight because the quality of my audience then gets diluted, if that makes sense.
100%.
So I'd rather have a more targeted viewer base, subscriber base of people that I know are genuinely interested in my content.
I agree. It's like, I feel like with TikTok or with these newer applications like Lemon8, anyone can kind of go viral over something. But for me as well, being that girl who had acne at 16, I would rather have a community of people who genuinely find value from the information of the science of skincare, the science of beauty, who can create a connection even if there's less, or if there are more, making sure that it is authentic and helpful. Because we can all just, you know, create content that's shocking, like prank videos or dance videos. They're fun to watch. I watch them too. But like, there's such a difference between that just taking up my time and fulfilling my boredom versus making me feel like my life is better or changed in a way. And if I, you know, tomorrow's not promised, if I'm doing something, I want to feel like I'm doing something for the world that I can leave behind and be proud of.
Yeah, I agree with that so much. What's your favorite thing about being an influencer?
Oh, what's my favorite thing? I would have to say the opportunity. I think anyone who has a business of their own, whether it's like an esthetician where I'm working on clients or helping other people, whether it's any other business like being a restaurant owner or a content creator, I really like the freedom of being able to choose where I'm spending my time, making sure that my morals and my values match what I'm doing with my time and my money. The opportunity to meet people like you, the opportunity to travel, the opportunity to have control and call the shots. It comes with a lot of stress. I would never wish that upon anybody, but I think that my favorite aspect of it is being able to be so creative and so free in that. How about you?
Amazing. I think my community is like my favorite thing. I like, people are always like, we were so excited to meet you, or you were getting your nails done next to me and I just didn't. I couldn't say hi to you because I was nervous. And I think that people who watch my vlogs regularly know this, but like I tear up when I meet people sometimes. On this trip, in fact, I've met subscribers in New York. I've met so many subscribers in Texas.
In Texas?
I met a few in LA, like I bumped into a few in LA, and I actually have a few that have DM'd me and are like, you're in Frisco, can we come in and meet you? And so I'm going to the Boiling Crab, and they're planning to come there and say hi to me. And I was like,
so fun.
I'm so excited because I feel like that is my favorite thing. The fact that there's people all around the world that are like internet friends with me, and I get to share that emotion with them, unmatched. Absolutely unmatched. But tell me a little bit about the business here, right? So for example, with India, how the influencer business works is, of course, there's representation, there's management agencies, there's PR reps. But I feel like over there's a lot of relationship building that goes into who you do business with. I've had a few meetings here with different brands. Some I've vlogged, some I haven't vlogged. Some were nice and some were not so nice. How do things work here? Because from what I've seen, it's quite different.
That's a great question. I feel like those relationships maybe aren't as important, or maybe it's just my perspective. The way people make money here, I would break it down in 3 different ways. One is just ads, so there's an ad before a video, you get to watch the content for free. And whether it's Coca-Cola or Pepsi or whoever, they're paying the platforms like YouTube or Facebook, and then we get a cut, which is great because it allows us to create content for free. Now, those have changed dramatically. There's a lot less money in that than there was 3 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 10 years ago. But that's one. The second is affiliate. So for instance, if I love this rare beauty blush, or if I love this, verified bronzer, if I genuinely care about it and I can speak about it, why should I not get paid for helping somebody else find something that might work for them too, as long as I'm doing that authentically? So if you have like a code or a link, if somebody purchases that, I might get a couple of cents, which I think happens in India too.
Yes.
And then the third, which I think you're saying that has the biggest disparity, the biggest difference, is the sponsorships. I approach sponsorships very differently. I'm very picky. I'm vegan and cruelty-free. I'm shakahari, so I don't drink or, eat.
Wait, 1 second. I have to interrupt. She said shakahari. She speaks Hindi and Punjabi.
I don't. No.
You understand Hindi, but she...
Okay.
Say it.
A little bit. It's tori because I don't, Hindi is very similar to Punjabi, but even in Punjabi, it's not perfect. Meri accent bahut galat hai. I can't, okay?
Stop it. It's so cute. When I walked into her house where we're filming right now, she started speaking in Punjabi, and I was like, am I listening to this correct?
I was trying to speak the Hindi that I know, but it wasn't the words.
I'm sorry for diverting the topic. I was just like, she said shakahari, and your Punjabi/Hindi is very cute.
Sachi. Eko bashava kafi eko jehan. So I kind of get, I can get by.
You definitely can get by. Let me tell you that. But please continue. Vegan and cruelty-free. Yeah. I don't wanna digress.
No, so because of that, I won't use or promote brands or products that don't match those morals and values. And again, if something didn't work for me, I've had acne. I literally have a breakout on my shoulder. I'm not gonna promote things unless they work. Now, you have super dry skin. I'm oily. I can look critically at a product and say, hey, this has ingredients that should work for dry skin based on my knowledge in chemistry or medical aesthetics. But I'm very, very picky about that kind of stuff. And I think many influencers are, but not all of them. And I think that if you want the real lowdown of the industry, the way that most things work here is that a brand such as ABC Beauty Company says, we have a marketing budget of $50,000. We're going to spend $25,000 on paid ads in TV or those ads you see on a website, and another $25,000 on influencers. And so they go out and they literally go to companies like talent agencies that basically have a bunch of influencers on a list. And they say, here's their picture, here's how many followers they have, this is what they talk about, and this is their price. And the brand literally goes through, picks those influencers, tack, and says okay, we want that one, we want this one, and then says, here are the guidelines. And they're not telling you what to say, but they're telling you what they want.
To say also.
Or what not to say, yeah. They'll be like, we want to show before and after of what your skin looks like with makeup. Some brands actually respect the rules and say no filters. Others don't mention anything about filters, and they literally allow paid ads to go on filtered content, which everyone has a different opinion on. I don't love that. But that's kind of how the sponsorships work. Now, for me, it's a little bit different because I am so picky, and I also no longer belong to an agency. So like those lists and things, I'm like, no, I'm not on them. I'm very grateful I work with a wonderful team, expensive but wonderful, and I get to work with some of the greatest, most creative people who really understand what it's like to live with acne, what it's like to work in aesthetics. And we work with brands one-on-one. So like if this brand launches a new product and they're coming out with something, they might reach out to us via email, or I might reach out to another brand, or like I love so many different products, I'll just be using them in a video. The brand will see that and they'll reach out and they'll say, hey, can we restock you on anything? Or can I have stuff for giveaways or to give to other people? And then that kind of turns into a conversation of, hey, are you working with a marketing budget? Do you have anything coming up? Would you like to be integrated into the content that honestly we were gonna make anyways? Do you want to pay us for it? And I would say that's kind of how it works mainly for me. So it's a lot less of that relationship building, I think. Yeah.
So in India, everything you said applies.
Oh, it does.
But I think that relationships go a really long way in the Indian market.
Really?
I don't think that's influencer industry specific though. I think Indians, Asians at large probably, just want to get to know who they're working with, in my experience.
I love that.
Even for me, with Wearified, for example, I have chosen not to work with certain people that I think may make great product, but are just really difficult to be, to coordinate with. Or I think that, okay, you know what, these people really get what I'm looking for, so working with them will be easier. I, of course, think that it takes all types of people to make the world, so there are caveats and exceptions everywhere. But when it comes to this space, we love building relationships with agencies and brands directly. Like so many of the brands I've met here in the US, I've met because I have great relationships with the Indian counterparts.
Interesting.
And I also no longer am with an agency. I 12 years of doing what I do, I was represented by an agency for about 7 months in the middle. And I was like, sorry, why did I do that? Why did I do that? And now I have a fantastic in-house team, much like yours.
So
I'm so grateful that, we find the kind of support we need. There are pros and cons to it. Expensive is definitely one of them. It's much tougher to have to give salaries as opposed to pay out of commissions, which would be much more financially easier, let's call it.
Or if you did both, it's
exactly.
Rough.
But my other question to you is, then when you guys do stuff here, like for example, what's more common here is like there's a lot of brand trips that happen here.
So many brand trips.
They happen in India as well, but definitely not as many as you guys have over here.
I feel like there's so many brand trips. Most are for makeup and fashion, but there are some for skincare. But there's always a brand trip happening. And honestly, I get kicked off the list because if I don't like the product, I'm gonna say it sucked. And that makes some people upset. I've gotten to go on some really wonderful brand trips, and I would say the best ones are the brands that don't care about what content you're making. It's like, we want to get to kind of that relationship building. Like, we want to get to know you on this trip. What do you authentically love? And do you want to talk about that? Those are the best. But there have definitely been trips that are like, oh, you're going to go on this trip. You have to post this many pieces of content. And it's almost like an exchange. Like, you're getting a free trip, but you have to work. You have to put together this content.
But
and
those
I'm just
are
like,
paid, right?
No, not always. It depends on which ones.
That's so weird because
But I hate those. Yeah. I hate them. Yeah.
Have you ever had a really good brand trip experience where you're like,
I have. Yeah. There's a company that I love called Biossance. They are amazing. And they did a brand trip that actually spoke about where the ingredients were sourced. We actually got to plant coral in the ocean. We talked about sustainability. There are certain ingredients like squalane that come from sharks versus olive oil. They're also a local company. They're here in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay.
That was amazing because I got to see other people in the industry build relationships, build connections, but I've never done a sponsored post with them. I went on a trip. I've loved their products before. I've loved their products after, but there was no financial exchange. I'm fine with that. But I do think that there are you see the tripping with Tarte, the Tarte brand trips or the Benefit brand trips, really, really good. But I think that some people are paid to post content from there, and others, it's literally an exchange. You have to post this if you're going here. And for me, it's if I'm forced to say or do anything, I'm picky. I don't like it. You can pay me to talk about my honest opinions. And if I don't like it, sorry.
no, sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, it's oopsies. All right, bye.
See ya never.
Exactly.
No, I completely agree and resonate with that because I think like we said earlier, I think both of us, I speak for, when I say we're happy to like just not get the press. In my case, I can say I'm like, there are certain brands I like, and then there may be a few products that didn't work for me. I'm like, you know what? I'll buy the ones that did work for me and feature them as and when I go along. It's all good. But wait, I have a slightly controversial question.
Oh, say it. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
How are the agency influencer politics over here? Because back in India...
Agency influencer politics?
Yeah, like, okay, so I'm going to give you an example.
Give me an example, yeah.
Sometimes I'll have like an agency reach out to my team and say, so this client wants Aanam to do this, but they're not going to pay because as a brand... So one sec, you don't know this about India. A lot of the luxury brands that come into India... Don't pay in the Indian market, but they pay here.
That is insane. That is so sickening.
Yeah,
it's almost like your content isn't as valuable. You'll do it for free. That's so. But that is insulting.
People also do it for free. I also think that one sec. I'm quickly going to touch upon the fact that there are influencers who ruin the market for everyone else because they want the free stuff. And I think that while it's okay to have your own priorities, a little bit of a less myopic view on the fact that you are ruining an industry for people for like others, you know, and I fully respect everybody. Some people coming in just for the perks, but there are people who are truly trying to build credibility and an industry and an economy, system out of this whole thing, and then you spoil it for everyone else.
I feel like it's, the people who, what is it, the squeaky wheel creaks the loudest or something like that, or like the broken wheel squeaks the loudest. I feel like that's kind of how it is in the influencer world. The people who are ruining it are far and few between, but there are some. And again, this is a huge generalization, so it does not apply to everyone. But I feel like people who started this, like you, like 10 years ago or 13, 12 years ago, you started it because you loved it and you're continuing to do something. It's personal to you. You know that audience. Whereas I do feel like there are some people nowadays who just want to get on the internet, which is fine. You have every right to do that and you should. But they just want to get on because they want the brand trips or the perks, right? And while that's not a bad thing, if that's the motivating factor, are you really providing value? Ask yourself, like, are you really providing value? Are you really leaving something positive behind, or is it very self-serving? And if it's self-serving, people are willing to cut corners. They're more often than not willing to do shady practices or promote brands that don't actually work because they're getting paid. And that's a huge generalization, and it happens with, legacy influencers as well. But it does make it hard for, the people who grew up either struggling with their skin or, struggling with certain products and to find, tones and shades of foundation that work for them. There's a reason that you do what you do, and there's a reason that I do what I do or another person does. But sometimes I feel like the new wave of influencers, some of them just want to dance and get paid, which get your bag, go for it. But don't sell out because it ruins it for the rest of us.
Yeah, I agree. That's so well put, actually. Wait, I was actually going somewhere else with the question when I said that, didn't I?
Yeah, agency,
yeah. I completely ruined my eyeliner on the right side. So we're going to pretend like they match.
They're not bad.
No, they're hard.
Better than what I could do.
No, this is.
I'm not doing eyeliner because I can't.
I blinked while I was doing it, so there's that. My question was, so for example, I'll have an agency reach out to my team and say, this brand doesn't pay, but we will make it up and pay Aanam a premium on the next paid campaign.
What?
And yeah, so I'll give you this.
Doesn't make sense.
I'll give you this literal exact instance that happened, okay?
Okay.
Spilling some major tea here.
Give me the tea.
So my manager, in-house manager, at one point said, you know what, this is a great brand. Let's just do it because it'll start a new relationship.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what, give them a discount. Let's not do things for free because I'm a big believer on, just...
If you want to do it for free, you'll do it for free.
Exactly. I would have just integrated you anywhere I wanted to. It finally came down to me working on a package deal for them at a much lesser cost than I would have liked to and otherwise charged any other brand. Stopped working with the agency, reached out to me and double-checked numbers with my manager, and we gave a genuine quote of what we would typically charge. And then the agency got caught in the middle because they were like, why did we pay so much more? So what happened was our billing goes to the agency. The brands never know what's happening.
Oh my
This was my first realization where I was like, what just happened?
But that is unreal. Wow. I don't know if things like that have happened here. I know of one influencer who I really like. She is on TikTok and she was offered a massive amount of money for a deal. It was a really good, like there are some times that I wish I was less strict on my morals and values. It was less than 100,000, but very close. And it was for a brand that's not vegan or cruelty free, so I wouldn't do it. But it's those kind of things where like you look at yourself, you check yourself, and you wonder, which, you know, I have to be honest about. But anyways, she was basically offered this gigantic amount and said, yeah, you know, I'll take this. And then the agency was going to take a percentage. Well, she started working on the campaign. She's posting her deliverables with the brand, and then she goes to the agency and says, hey, can I have my contract for like accounting purposes? She gets, you know, the contract from the agency, and it's for like $50,000 more than what she was told. And it was already a ridiculous amount of money. It was like a luxury brand. She's like, wait a minute, why am I only being paid this amount, which is under 100,000, when even with the agency's cut of 10, 15, 20%, they're charging twice the amount. So what happened is that the brand thought that this influencer was so valuable, or they liked her so much, they were willing to pay this high number. But the agency told her, hey, this is what we have available. And because she didn't know better, she took it. And she thought it was worth it when she was underselling herself. And so the agency was basically telling her it was one number because she was willing to do it for that number, but pocketing the rest of it. So that happens.
One sec.
Happens, yeah.
I want to be more shocked at this, but I'm not.
You're not.
Because this is a regular practice.
It is.
This is literally. So wait, I can't believe I'm spilling so much tea here, but I have something to share with you.
Yeah.
I was working on this campaign with a brand. The work started in October of last year in 2022. And Diwali is really big in India, right?
What's Diwali? Oh, Diwali.
Of
course, of lights.
They were like, we're going to pay you a super premium because we need this to be the quickest turnaround. And I was like, oh, wow, okay, you're offering me more money to do a quicker job. I'll take it.
Because that makes sense. If I'm staying up at night, if I'm paying people overtime, if I'm rewriting my schedule, if someone asks me to do that, you ask for more money. Makes total sense.
It's not a norm in India. This was the first time I was offered more money for a quicker turnaround.
If you are changing around your life and your schedule and paying other people overtime, you absolutely get paid more. Are you serious?
It is not a regular thing at all.
No.
Yes. Another thing that's so different.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I obviously took the premium and we worked quicker on it. I put literally organic content aside because I was like, I'm going to make sure.
You got to get this done.
This deadline
you
gets
committed
done.
to it.
Exactly. And then the brand and agency ghosts us. I'm talking about a conversation that started in September, October for
Diwali, yeah.
They needed the video to go up before Diwali, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
They ghost us. My team is chasing them, figuring out what happened. The video is ready. It's been approved. What happened? They come back to me in February of 2023.
No. Literally a year later. Like
November, December, Jan, February, March. November, December, Jan. 4 months later.
Yeah.
And they say the video was great, but now the brand things have changed, so you need to reshoot the video.
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
Absolutely
not. So I said, no way, Jose, that is not happening. And if you are going to make me reshoot it, there's going to be an additional cost to it.
Because that costs me time and money. It costs my editors time and money. 100%.
Now get this. They come back saying to me, the agency, oh, okay, so you know what? We had kept this much money as buffer that the agency was, they're telling it to me, that this was what we actually had quoted the brand. Tell you what, we'll give you 50% of that. That was my face. That was exactly my face.
And they told you that to you. Same thing that happened, but they told it to your face.
Oh, shamelessly. And not even like they're offering me all the money. They're offering me 50%
of what? Wow.
And I was like, am I hearing? My manager was sitting with me when we were on that call.
And you're like, are you kidding? Is that why you don't work with agencies anymore? Because I don't blame you.
No, so this isn't my representing agency. This was the brand's digital agency.
Oh my god.
And obviously I was livid. Eventually we used the video as is. I did not take the extra money. I said, you know what? You approved it. I'm not getting into this. Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Not my circus, not my monkeys.
You figured this out with your brand who gave the approval 4 months ago and then ghosted you, vis-a-vis you ghosted me. I'm not getting into it. And then we used the video as is.
Good for you, Aanam. Good for you for standing your ground too, because that's insane. And I feel like that's part of the issue is that the influencer world is such like a wild, wild west that there's not a lot of regulation. And that means that like foundation ads with acne go out with Photoshop, and with wrinkle filler products, they go out with Photoshop. That also means that there are influencers you can see like they're using the product for the very first time. They don't even know what's in it. You see celebrities talking about this line that they made. They can't even pronounce the ingredients. They don't even know what's in their own product. I feel like that is what gives this industry a horrible name. And even the word to influence, like it's like, oh my God, ew, you're influencing me to do what? Buy something? Listen, we can have positive influences in our life or negative influences in our life. And I embrace the word influencer because I want to be a positive influence. I feel like you're a positive influence on me.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's just like, how do we
do better?
How do we navigate that, and how do we do better? Because, you know, the broken wheel squeaks the loudest. That's what we see, you know, going down on the internet with all the drama. But it's like there are some people who really care and do so well. How do we lift that up and make sure that it works and provides value for anyone watching or anyone involved?
I love that you said it like that, and especially that you have embraced the word influencer. For me, the term influencer is something that I'm just starting to take to.
Really?
I call myself a content creator.
Because
I feel like, why would one, it's like saying, when you go to a doctor, you don't call them like a healther.
A healther?
You know what I mean? Like,
oh, I guess you're right.
The subliminal act of influencing someone to purchase a product, or when you're showing a lifestyle, it's like, oh, I am influencing you to do. That sounds so silly to me.
It does.
There's something very...
Okay.
It doesn't, for whatever reason, it just hasn't settled in for me. So whenever someone asks, what term do you prefer? Like for me, and I understand that some people prefer influencer and relate to that term. For me, I'm like, call me a YouTuber, call me a blogger, call me a content creator. Because the minute someone says influencer, I'm like, I don't know why. I just have this, maybe it's just in my head, super sexy models
on the beach,
in their like, you know, Insta baddie era. That's what comes to my mind.
Or like filming dead bodies in the forest. Oh.
What? Filming dead bodies in it?
You didn't hear about this? This is like 3 years ago. He went into a forest and filmed a dead body. Yeah, literally.
He found dead bodies, or did
he went to a place that was a common place where people who are upset like take their lives, and like literally made a joke of it, and then found someone who had done that and like filmed it and put it on the internet. Yep. So he's known as an influencer or a content creator, and like it gives us all a bad name. But
I have nothing to say because I'm so confused and I have so many questions right now.
Oh, Aanam, how did you miss this? This was like international news headlines.
I think I'm happy to be living in a bubble right now.
Living in a bubble. This is like 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think I'm happy to be living in a bubble.
Good, as you should be. As you should be.
Yeah.
Stay in the bubble because you don't want to get out.
Also, another one of the reasons why I stay away from Reddit. I'm like, I don't have
Reddit's a mess. Reddit's a mess.
The emotional toll it has taken on me a few times. I'm like, I will stay away. Thank you very much.
I do think that Reddit can be such a painful place. There are some valid opinions on Reddit, I will say. There are some very valid things, some things that I'm like, you know what? Fair. Really good constructive criticism. But there are others that just plain hurt.
The ratio of those two things you mentioned is very skewed
on Reddit.
So I'm like, am I going to put myself out there and potentially read a lot of things, you know, not just like about so many people and things. I mean, if somebody would filter the constructive criticism and give it to me.
Exactly.
We need an app for that in case there's any developers watching.
I would love that because it is really painful, and it's like on my good days I can handle it. On others I can't. I'll just say it. There was a girl, I think it was a girl. I actually don't know. There was Beth. Beth used to tell me that she wished that I had a brain tumor and died. So, and that I should unalive myself and that everyone hates me. And I am kind of an idiot. I don't delete comments that are negative, or at least at the time I didn't, and I still don't, unless somebody is attacking something protected, like religion, race, gender, sexuality, etc.
You should also be protected.
Well, because I didn't want to filter anyone, even if people had different opinions. I don't delete them. Issue is, other people started to get really upset because Beth was talking about like how ugly I am, like I should go kill, like all these things. And I realized other girls, other boys, other non-binary friends are watching that and taking Beth's words towards me personally, and it is hurting them. So that's when I decided no more. But yeah, Reddit is basically like a bunch of Beths. And then there's some constructive criticism thrown in, but then the rest is just no.
Yeah. I have some...
This is so silky.
So don't mum your lips because it has actual butter in it.
This is so good.
It has actual... She's using the Wearified liquid lipsticks for the first time.
I'm so loving this.
It has actual butter in it, and because of that, if you over mum your lips, it could like feel a little weird. So I tell people to give it 2 to 3 minutes to dry, and then it lasts all day long.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I mean, this is like it has makhni?
No, makhni is different. This is, in this formula in particular, I think we have shea butter, if I remember.
Okay, because I was like, wait, I'm vegan.
Not.
Okay, thank you. Shea butter, coconut butter, love those. Makhni? No, I'm so glad we clarified. Not like ghee, right?
No.
Okay,
We're
cool.
a vegan brand as well.
I was like, I thought so.
We're a vegan brand as well.
The terror.
No.
Rewind and look for the terror in my eyes of like, wait a second. Oh my God, wait, I love this color.
Which shade did you wear?
Is this the cocoa?
Cocoa. Wait, pink hot cocoa? Yeah. It looks so different on you than it does on me.
I love this. I love this.
Oh my God, we should do a color theory quick vertical because pink hot cocoa looks like something else on me and looks like something else on you.
I would love to.
It looks so
We could do a
stunning.
short. Like, have you ever watched Monica or Jazz? Monica is a content creator from San Francisco, so is Jazz. Both amazing makeup creators, but they use the same product on 2 different skin tones.
Nice.
We should do it.
Oh my
Be
God,
inspired by
let's.
them.
I feel like I don't know too many creators from here in a sense that I only have been watching the ones that I watch and I haven't really discovered anybody new in a very long time.
I love people. I love influencers, content creators. Like, I love the people behind the brand or the content. If you want, I would love to introduce you to so many people because like you're a genuine person and I like to spend time with genuine people. You should meet some people, girl. Oh, we can all go to Sephora together.
Regretting the fact that I only have another week in this city right now.
Regretting that I'm going to Las Vegas.
Please don't regret that. That sounds like so much fun.
We'll see. Oh my God, I love this. I need to see how it wears, but like first impressions, this is a go-to. Do you see how pretty that is?
I love how it looks on you.
I love this. How much does this retail for?
In India, it's $9.99 inclusive of taxes. Oh wait, so fun fact, the way you guys retail is really different from the way we retail.
How?
So you know over here how you guys have a price and then depending on what state you're buying in, the tax gets added on?
Yep.
In India, the tax is included in the price no matter where you're shopping because all the states have the same taxes. So $9.99 is like, I want to say $8.
Yeah, well, wait, 999 rupees?
Yeah.
How many rupees?
999 rupees. 999 rupees.
999 rupees. Oh my gosh.
That's like $8-ish.
Like $7-8-ish dollars? Is it
Yeah.
$72 per rupee now?
It's 86. Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, inflation.
Yes.
Wow.
I bought 13 designer bags on this trip.
Oh my God, I love you.
Yeah, but it's not pretty to the pocket.
No. What were you saying? I feel like I went on a tangent because I'm really good at that. You were saying something about agencies though.
Just the politics of it with like how they don't give complete information to agencies, to brands or influencers and influencer management agencies. It can be a whole show and cry about how kind of poorly it is handled. Also, guidelines to India are relatively newer, which you guys have had for a while.
Guidelines are so important. What are the guidelines in India and how are they different?
Now I think they're pretty similar to what you guys have over here, disclosing partnerships, hosted, gifted, sponsorship. Some of them do go a little too far. Which I don't completely understand. Like if I'm featuring a brand that I've purchased and featuring, they'll reach out to me and be like, you need to put, a tag on it. And I was like, no, I purchased
bought it. Yeah.
And they were like, oh no, but you've also attended events. And I'm like,
oh,
that
wow.
doesn't make sense. Like,
that doesn't really make sense to me.
so some things go a little too far. What are the guidelines like over here? Are they similar?
A little bit. Well, the FTC is the Federal Trade Commission, and essentially, if you're getting paid for something, you need to say, is it sponsored? Is it an ad? Are you partnered? Super, super essential, and I think that, you have to. I don't know if gifted I think you're supposed to disclose it. I do. There are some people who don't. I don't know if it's a law though. In the UK, it is different because in the United Kingdom, you have to put the disclosure, the sponsorship in the title, whereas in America, you just have to make sure it's visible. And then gifted, yeah, in America, I know some people hashtag gifted. I honestly don't know if it's a requirement or not. And when it comes to gifted, it's like if I go out and purchase this with my own money, majority of the time that's what I do, but then people will gift me things and I'll pass them forward, or I might use them on my own. Yeah, like I gave you some things that were gifted to me, but like it's not an ad. Do I have to disclose that I gifted it to you? And then because I gifted it to you, but it wasn't the brand giving it to you,
I still have to say gifted, or do I?
Do you? See, that's what I don't know. And I believe in transparency. I would love to know the answers, but I am not up to date on all that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It can be confusing. I think that the beauty and the chaos of being an influencer,
and the rules are constantly changing, which is rough. Which, you know, as long as they're getting better, I'm a happy camper.
I'm quickly gonna find pink heart cocoa because it's somewhere in my own.
Are you gonna use the same one?
Yeah, just so that there's we can be like, oh my god, this looks. Wow, I broke it to you.
You can use the one that I used if you want to.
No, I have. Okay. I definitely have more over here. So the reason I wanted to do something in an
we could do
era
a short. Yeah.
I would love to.
Could I actually borrow some of your blush or
Please do.
contour?
I kept them all here for you to use.
Did you really? I wasn't sure.
No, of course.
Can I use your bronzer?
I have a darker shade as well if you want one. I have that's ginger tea and this is black coffee.
I'll use ginger tea.
Yeah,
oh, this is so pretty. I love that you have multiple bronzer shades. That's something that I feel like we didn't get until recently here in America.
Oh, not in India either, right?
I don't know about India. You tell me.
No. We just established in her video that we, over here in America, they have multiple shades to choose for tinted sunscreens.
Duh.
And I went through Nykaa and I was like, every other brand.
That was so sad.
Had
Honestly,
only one shade.
So disappointing. Oh, you see how my foundation oxidized?
Which one did you
The
use?
Charlotte Tilbury. I love this one, but it probably mixed with my sunscreen. See how it oxidized?
There you go.
Or it could have been the primer that it oxidized with because this has vitamin C in it.
No, it's definitely that.
You think it's a Charlotte Tilbury? I love this, but yeah, look at that. I have 8 colors.
It's okay.
I was gonna say, out of all of the years that you've been doing content creation, what is one thing that you have learned that you feel like has truly been a life lesson for you? Like something that changes the way you think and approach every single day?
It's a life lesson that I've learned but can't implement. Does that count?
Yeah.
I'm very emotional. Thank you.
I'm emotional.
I'm very emotional about my content. Like I've had 50 people say to me in the last 2 years, disconnect from your idea of what it should be and give in to whatever will get you the followers and go viral. And I think that what I've taken from that is that I should be less emotional about my content and involved on a heart level. But I also can't let go and just do things because it'll get me more followers. So while I'm keeping my heart and integrity in check, it's not good for business. And now I've just kind of learned to live with the idea that I'm okay with having lesser followers or subscribers as long as the people that do follow me are on brand for the kind of content I'm consistently putting out there.
Quality over quantity.
100%.
Yeah. I love that you say that. I feel like a lot of content creators that I've spent time with, or something that I got over, was the idea of perfectionism. A lot of people won't hit record unless they look perfect, or until their background looks perfect, or they won't post the video until the editing is just right. And it's like, listen, nobody else cares.
Yeah.
You have such an important message to share to this world. Go for it. And even with my team, I think I've gotten in trouble because I've even told my team, I would rather it be 75% of the way and go out so that we can continue educating, entertaining, and empowering rather than make it 100%, but we only, are posting something once a month. And unfortunately, I think it's allowed a couple of people to cut corners sometimes, which is a little bit difficult, but I literally say I would rather it be impactful over perfect. I would rather that we don't use filters in my videos. A lot of makeup channels do, which is totally fine. It does make them look quote unquote better.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt. It's not totally fine.
It's not?
I'm just sorry, hot take. But it's not totally fine. If you're putting a makeup video out there and you're going to put a smoothing filter on it, the woman, man, non-binary follower that you have is going to wonder why that doesn't look the same way when they do that.
I wondered.
There you go.
I mean, here's the thing. And again, it's okay to have different opinions. If someone is, clear about it, fine. Like every single one of the top makeup creators that I watch, they like have filters. And I'm just like, I can see it. So I'm like, okay, for me, I always disclose if I use one. But I do wonder if it's stopped my channel growth because we use brightening, we use, you know, saturation and like in-camera settings, but we don't filter the skin. And I look at myself and I'm like, you know, if I put a filter on that, even throughout the entire video, it would probably perform a little bit better because it's more visually easy to look at, right? I know what it's like to sit there and compare myself to, like, let me just say it, like, totally honestly, I adore and love, like, Nikki Tutorials, Tati Westbrook, Hiram, like, Jeffree Star, like, there are certain people that I think their makeup skills or their makeup is beautiful, but they've had filters on. And I judged myself and compared myself to that originally, and I don't anymore. But you're right, is it okay? Is it not? Again, there are certain people, like Jeffree Star, creates great products, but I will not buy them. Kylie has some interesting products, I will not buy them because I don't want to put my money towards that.
Yeah.
But I can still respect that it's a good product, or I can watch this makeup tutorial, say they look amazing, and I'm just not going to use a filter, so I know I'm not going to look like that. I don't know, is it okay, is it not? I don't know. This is why I love your content though, because you're open about these things.
So I put 0 edits in terms of the only thing that gets edited, and when I add effects is when I'm putting like funny clips, memes, sound effects, music. I don't do saturation, I don't do smoothing, I don't do filter, I don't do anything.
Not even like brightness or tone?
Nothing.
Wow.
The only thing
That's why you shoot on a Canon.
Yeah.
Yep.
The only thing I do is obviously if I'm doing, like, typically if you were filming this in my home, I would have my light in front of me.
Yes.
We're shooting in natural light today, so you will see it vary. But I like that because it still looks real. You know what I mean? And when I'm shooting in front of a light, I'm doing it from the point of view of you should see the shades clearly. I don't do any touch-ups to my videos. On photos, however, I should clarify, when it comes to Instagram, I do use a little bit of Lightroom and saturation or a little bit of contrast up and down, but that's literally about it.
Wow.
I genuinely, truly don't believe in it because I feel like, and some of the compliments I get when I bump into people, it's like, oh my God, you look the same.
You look so real, yeah. It's like, thanks.
I'm like, thank you. Well, that's a huge compliment in today's day and age. And I vlog a lot, and I vlog without makeup so often because it's like I'm in the morning, I'm having chai, I'm having breakfast. So I'm not going to get up and glam to have chai.
Yeah, you're just wanting to be, you know, if you want to do it for you, then fine. But if not, yeah.
And those are the kind of things that I think go a long way in building a connection with the people watching you, because they don't want to see a filtered out version.
I could be wrong. I think people want to look at things that are beautiful or aligned or visually appealing, and usually in nature, things that have symmetry, you know, are what is considered beautiful. Or, you know, what we think is beautiful is what we see in media or we emulate, like in magazines, right? But you're right. I think if you're giving someone an option, do you want to see something pretty or do you want to see something accurate? If people know that there's an option, at least from my perspective, I want to see the real thing. I want to know what this is going to work like for me. Like, you have Dior here. Personally, don't use Dior. Love that you love them. I look at their ads in Sephora and I take the product home and I'm like, that doesn't look like, even Charlotte Tilbury, I love. I look at the ads and I put them on my face. I'm like, I don't look like that.
Yeah.
Like, what gives? Yeah, it's rough.
I'm going to send you some pictures from Wearified campaigns where our pictures come out of the memory card and go onto the website.
No way.
We don't even adjust light, we don't adjust contrast, we don't adjust saturation, and we have a little no edit, no filter stamp on it. Because I feel like when you see a product online and when you wear it, I don't want somebody to feel like they spent money thinking they would get a performance that is filtered and that I cannot provide you with in real life.
No way. If you ever want to do a video showing behind the scenes of a photo shoot as someone who came from the modeling world and literally was photoshopped to smithereens, I would love to show the behind the scenes of how you do that and like compare it to the rest of the industry. I'll fly to India and I'll be like, let me shove a camera in your model's face. Like, I would love to, because I feel like there's so much mystery in that. Do you know how photo shoots work? Like, do you know how these things are made start to finish? I would love to be able to share that you guys are doing that.
I'd love to.
Again, spilling the tea. One of my subscribers who is wonderful and amazing and talented, she is a photo editor. And she was the person who edited the Kylie skin campaigns. And again, she's not allowed to talk about it. She didn't tell me anything confidential, but it's quite obvious, like the befores and afters. They're again, she didn't share anything with me that's not public, but it's like, it is unreal. And I wish that I had known that when I was like 14, looking at these magazines or even Bollywood films, like all of these things, just being like, why don't I look like that? And you know, you realize that, you know, this amazing thing is done with CGI.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what? I can't actually get that. Okay. Even just knowing that, I think would have given me such a more healthy perspective on life.
There's so much of the beauty, fashion, and entertainment industry that has led to so many of us having complexes about the way we feel or look, or had maybe when we were younger. And I mean, that's why I feel like as influencers, we're not a magazine, we're not a movie. And I know that I get in a hot water for saying these things all the time, but no, it's not okay. Are you starting your video with a disclaimer that says, I have a smoothing filter on? Okay, then that's fine. You found a mid-ground. You feel good, your video will perform well, and you
have a disclosure.
Yeah. But otherwise, it's just not okay. I'm sorry. For me, it just isn't. I'm like, I don't want anybody to watch my video and feel like they can do the same thing but get a different result. It doesn't make sense to me.
And honestly, there's so much, you know, variation in beauty. It's like, let's embrace that. Like, we're literally wearing the same lip color, but it looks totally different on us. If I were to purchase this on a website that's not yours, like Sephora's or Ulta's or whoever, they'll probably show a shade that's enhanced to make it look perfect. And it's like, it looks different, but it's the same shade, and this is actually what it looks like without all the fancy lighting. Yeah, there's been so many times where I open up a product and I'm like, that is not the color I thought it was.
Yep. Wow. I love how much tea we've spilled in this video.
I have so much tea all the time.
Make sure you guys go over and watch the video on Cassandra's channel as well, because that one is so much fun too. This one was like a lot of makeup and spilling tea, and that one was a lot of skincare and conversations. So where can they find you?
At Cassandra Bankson online. It's CASSANDRA BANKSON. And if you are concerned about your skin, struggling in your skin, or just want amazing conversations with amazing people, that is what you can find.
I love how candid she is about her reviews. Her reaction videos are some of my favorite things to watch.
I'm so glad to hear that.
It really is. And you're going to see a Cassandra made me do it video really soon. If you don't have context to what I'm talking about, go watch the video I just mentioned on her channel, leaving all the links down below, because I think it's one of my favorites.
I'm going to react unfiltered to your video. So we're doing it, babies.
This is a new trend on YouTube.
Love it.
Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, bud. Bye.